So they're not going to be here for a couple of minutes, but anything you say from this point forward, they'll hear in the replay. Am I feeling it? I'll just give you kind of like the rundown as we're waiting for everyone to come in. Let me make sure that it goes. What I've been talking about, what people have been talking about on the show, I would say, just to kind of put it in a synopsis, that period, June, July, August, or something around there, something shot off. I mean, for me, it was all the Mother Goddess. It was like, let's go, don't look back, just go make it happen. But for, I think, everybody, including me, it was just fast and furious, probably till like the 22nd of November. There was a lot of burn, ego death. I mean, people, couples breaking up, groups breaking up. I mean, it was just this massive back and forth. And then the 22nd November came, and some might have said 11/11. And then from there till probably solstice, there was some lighter repercussions of everything, ripples. And then the solstice came, Christmas, that was really powerful, all that period. And then we kind of got landed. And for me, it's like we got spit out on the other side, or we came out the other side, I should say, with reverence. And it really feels more so then, but even now, like a totally different world. Like it's on. And even the happenings, the sessions I've been involved with Morgan, with her groups, the shows, my own solitude. There's been a lot of solitude in the air for people. I'm spending, more time meditating than I have in 10 years. And I don't know, there's just a lot of stuff coming in. So yes, and yes.
It's a beautiful time in the energies, definitely.
Right on. So I think I haven't checked yet, but let me make sure everything's online here, and apologize for my delay. But here at Soulogy, we're not spit and polish. We're just real time. Here we go. All right. S.A. Smith's in the house. All right. And okay, that's not the right one. Sorry. Let me get on the right one. I want to get on the platform that has the most comments, so I can kind of keep an eye on it. Welcome everybody. S.A. Smith's in the house, the girl in the universe. I'm going to go ahead and tag you on the post to your page. Welcome back. It's good to see you. We talked in 2022. I think we talked like in May or June, right before all this started to go down, and that we were talking about. And we've landed. And I've kind of told you what we've been talking about on the show, but let us know what you think of 2022.
Well, I thought 2022 was amazing, but what I'm really loving is now. I've been doing this a while, and watching everybody step into their true selves, really reaching that power within them. It's amazing. This time, I keep telling people, this time is like no time we'll ever be in it again. Really enjoy this, because we have the flash coming through and the shift happening, and we're feeling it all around us right now. These energies on December 26th, we had creation energies come in, and they're still here. And that's why we're feeling that change so big right now. We are expanding in our energies like never before. It's amazing.
Yeah. And the more people that I talk to and come into contact with, the more people I'm becoming aware are, I don't know what the right term is, waking up, awake, or I don't know what the term is, but I was watching a platform this morning, and there was 4 people on it, and it was interesting because all 4 of them were from different different sub platforms. So you have like truthers, disclosure, conspiracy, I'll say like far out starseed, like really identify with starseed. And then a friend of mine that has been on the show, who was kind of like the mutt mix, but we're all pulling in real intel and sharing it. And it was amazing because of the continuity of the subject, which was everything that you deal with, everything that we talk about on this program. And everybody was on the same line. And it was basically essentially, we know who we are. We know why we came. We know something wasn't right. We're tired of trying to figure that out. We've realized that it's all within us, and this transformation takes place within us. And the rest of it that we share will work itself out.
Oh, I love that so much, because That's the time we're in right now. It's about working on yourself. But it really is. If you just be the best you can be and work on you and trust in you, don't go out and try to trust in other people's truth, you'll find that everything will work out around you. It's going to happen whether you're awake or not. So you might as well enjoy this time, because honestly, we have never been in energies like we are now. The energies that are working with us now work with our system in a way that we haven't had in this planet in thousands of years. So you're actually like plugged into the right current now. And that's why you're getting the knowings and the understandings are coming in the way they do. It's like we changed everything, and we have. And it's not just our doing, it's each of us. You know, when you level up the collectives. We're all leveling up together. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And the other thing too is the external presence, the external non-physical to this point presences really seem to be making themselves known in so many different ways. Not just, I'm not talking like traditional like apparitions, but I mean, there really seems to be this like almost like a weaving or a cohesiveness, not just with, I shouldn't say just with non-physical, but even with the, let's just say the non-physical aspect or frequency field of the trees and the wind and the animals. There's just a lot of real subtle little changes, like something's just being turned a little bit more.
Definitely, definitely. It's amazing. And you can tap into all of that. There's so much happening, so many little things happening all over with so many people. And these energies keep coming in. And I know I'm an energy person, so I'm always talking about the energies that have been coming in. They're changing us, and they're allowing us to see things in a different light. And when you do that inner work as well, it all comes together.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Now, quite a few people that kind of do what you do, you know, in part, like what's going on, what's coming in, the energies, and kind of this is kind of the trajectory where we're going. But a lot of them have talked about, and I think astrology would kind of align with this, because a couple of these sources would be esoteric astrology related, that this first part of the year, we're kind of getting used to things. There's kind of a universal alignment occurring at that little subtle tick, tick, tick pace. But that come March, middle of March, give or take, and through into April, that new creations will start to occur that are constructed by this new energy, that can't be sustained if they're components of the old world, so to speak, or the old part of us. Does any of your intel kind of line up with that? Or even if not, what does it look like, if you can tell? What is it, kind of an upswing like that as these people are describing as we get into like March, April, May?
It's not really an upswing. You're already in it. It's happening around you now. It depends on what you're doing. So it's all about you more than ever before. But right now with the energies coming in, they're larger than ever before. So they're bringing in and setting up for the flash energies. And they're not calling it the flash anymore. They're calling it the love wave, which really helps, because we have all upgraded so high and changed so much that the flash that's coming through is not going to be, originally it was going to be something major where we're like, now it's not. Now it's gentle and easy. It'll come through, it'll put you down, but it won't, it'll put you to sleep, but it'll be quick. It's not like before where you were going to be asleep for 3 days and work through all that. It's nothing like that. They're working on that now. So we could see that go through any time between now and the beginning of March. I mean, we're doing this now. This isn't something that's 2 months off, 3 months off. This isn't something like the golden age is coming. It's here. And it's about you tapping into it and tapping into what's around you. These energies are just going to grow and get stronger and stronger, and you're able to walk through them in a whole new way. It's just so different than before. Yes. Originally, they wanted to bring it in at the end of December because there was something weird on our timeline. They were really concerned about us. But of course, the ascension teams fixed that. So now we can be here a little bit longer and let the humans get more of this energy and allow them to level up. And that's what we're seeing now. We're also seeing the difference in the two timelines, because there's an ascending timeline and everybody's talking about this. It's all the same thing. No matter what someone's saying, it's basically the same thing. There's an ascending timeline for the star seeds and the humans that are ascending, and there's a non-ascending timeline, and they're going a different way, but they'll be ascending later. Everybody chooses their path. It's all, our choice and our free will lays the foundation for everything we do.
Right on. And I also hear or pick up, in the field and just through my interactions, that there's more and more of a singular voice, our own voice, that we're our own soul over soul. I don't know how you want to put it. It seems to be coming down to us. I guess you could kind of say in a way. What
Maybe
are your
not
thoughts?
down to us, but we're going up to it. We've never been able to get literally it is like you are plugged in to the correct energy field now. And before, we were working with our guides more, but as you rise up, you work more with your higher self. So some people are connecting directly in with their higher selves. And that's a lovely thing. No matter where you are, it's all about ascension and it's all about you. There's no wrong place to be. So if you're not connecting in with your higher self yet, don't worry about it. You will. It'll happen. But it's all part of the stair steps of ascension. And that's where we are now. But yes, it's coming. Our abilities are off the chart at this point. I mean, things that you couldn't do last month, you can do now. Heck, a week ago, things you couldn't do, you can do now. It's just a part of the time we are in. And it's amazing. That's what I keep saying. Enjoy every minute. I'm big on all this is happening. And yes, it's happening around us, but we still have to walk forward and enjoy the time we're in and not be stagnant.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Here to that. Yeah. And there's been talk about, like some of the experiential part of it, right? I mean, layers and layers have been coming off of us, and there's been some talk, and really the best talk is the most recent talk, or writings or whatever, because it's becoming such a very present moment kind of experience now. Have been talking about judgments leaving us.
That's our goal. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, to talk about these things, a year, 2, 3 years. I went back and looked at your stuff. I mean, you were out there years ago too. I mean, but to actually be in the field where it's starting to happen, I think when you talked about the things that we couldn't do 2 weeks ago, a month ago, I think some of these things are in the subtleties of our life, which is how we communicate. The judgment people are talking about, I guess you could say no judgment is pure compassion, and that we're moving that direction, but we're actually, you can
watching it. We're watching it happen around us. That's the thing that just amazes me. I've been working with clients for years. I have clients that they felt so disconnected, and we've been working together. They're now amazing, and they've deeply connected into everything they're doing. And I'm like, hey, I'm still down here. This is me. But they're like flying past me. And that's the goal, right? We're all trying to help everybody find their way while we find our own way. But we're watching that now. We talked about it last year. You're going to be feeling this coming in. You're going to understand it. It's happening now. And everything around us that I've been talking about for years, like the veil falling, the strangeness that's happening in the 3D realm, we're watching the matrix break down as we go for every step, every day. It's amazing. That's all I can say is it's amazing, because we've heard about this happening for so long, yet here we are in it now. This is it. And we'll just watch it go further until we all go. And it'll be beautiful.
Yeah, and then you see the uptick in I guess you would say disclosure issues, or I don't know. It's weird, even when you go through the internet, if you don't go to the mainstream media, which I don't think very many people do anymore, but you don't have to. The internet's got just as many representations of the duality, or whatever you want to call it. But all these things that are kind of like coming out, and they don't really make sense. You know, you're like, okay, why is this coming out? Why is that coming out? And it's almost like everything, it's bigger than all of us, and everything is being revealed.
Yeah.
No matter what that entity is, or energy complex, or person, or whatever.
It truly is. And each person needs different things. And we're seeing that now. So if you needed something for your walk, it's happening. And it's different with all of us, but it's all the same as well. It's amazing. I know I've said that like 25 times.
It's okay.
We will never be in this time again, and we will never experience this again in this way. My team keeps talking about, notice how primitive everything is. You know, you and I were here when there wasn't internet. People didn't have phones walking around 24/7. We survived that, which is amazing. But they're talking about, this planet is so primitive, and you've made it and lived through this because, you know, outside of here, most of us have very high technology. We're star seeds, or, you know, in the higher realms, whatever you are. So living through this and knowing this and understanding that this planet is primitive, is a big deal right now for some reason. And I think it has to do with everything that's coming in and all the changes. We have so many galactics with us now. I was talking with my team before I came in, and they reminded me to tell the watchers that 1 out of 25 of the people we see on the streets are galactics that are here because they know they're here. They're not galactics like, you know, incarnated. They're here. They came in after the NPCs, and they're here to help with the vibration of the planet. And they said, you know, notice the baristas, the people taking the smaller jobs, they go in and out, they rent their homes, they're in hotels. They're here with us. 1 in 25 of the beings on the street are galactics.
Wow.
That's huge.
Wow.
You know how many galactics that is on the planet?
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I can't do the math on it that quick.
I can't either. And they're here for us.
Yeah. Well, and I think some of us are that, you know, but I think what you're saying, and even going back to this conversation I was listening to last night, that the young kids, right? Like, I think we're drinking from the same Kool-Aid, but these younger people coming in are even more clued in. From a higher level. Like, from our perspective, we might even say they're not even conscious of it. But yeah.
But they're here to hold the vibration. The ones I'm talking about are actual galactics that weren't incarnated. They're just walking on the street.
You mean just walking around?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I got you.
They came in after the NPCs. When they took all the NPCs, that was their chance to bring them in and raise the vibration. They've been here.
When was that? Was that late?
It was about a year ago that the NPCs, you'll hear it when everybody started talking about nobody has a job. The jobs are there, you know, nobody wants to work. That was when the NPCs were removed.
Yeah.
It's just really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you know, again, going back to energy, because that's probably the easiest way, even though it's still a bit futile, especially as the days go on and the intel keeps coming in, it just blows your mind.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably the easiest way to explain things or talk about things sometimes. But yeah, I remember, that's why I asked you, when was that? Because I remember probably about maybe a half a year to a year before that type of intel coming in. Some of it was explained a different way, but the thing that you can't get away from is that regardless of how the true narrative is, energetically speaking, they're all pointing to a raised collective frequency, right? Definitely. Like all those galactics walking next to us, 1 in 25, that's representing a tuning fork of the higher frequencies that have been on the earth if they've been here.
Exactly. Hundreds of different types of galactics are here to help us ascend. Hundreds. I mean, not just thinking of that, thinking of the amount of star nations we have working with us, our little planet to ascend. I mean, that's just overwhelming that they're here for us, for this. And they're talking about how it's gone through all the galaxies, and they're just waiting now to watch it happen, watch us ascend, to watch us go on to New Earth, bless Gaia. It's like the biggest thing out there right now. We have more people coming in to help, more Galactics coming in, ship after ship. You're going to see more and more of them in the skies. I mean, we see them all the time. I just don't understand how everybody doesn't notice those clouds don't always move. I mean, it's an amazing time. And being a part of all this, we're all connected and all tapped into it. Everybody's tapped into the same thing. You're getting what you need and you're hearing what you need to hear, but it's all part of the same story. It's all part of the same line that's going through the understanding, part of the ascension.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody I talked to 2-3 days ago was a woman. I think she was UK. I can't remember. But one of these that step out, that we have the honor of, hey, I want to come out. I've got to, my higher self said I got to come out. I don't want to. They all carry this, the same thread of oracle, I guess you would call it. But she was talking, and along the same lines you're talking about, the same type of trajectory and occurrences that are coming. And she was saying that it looked like at a certain point, like say early 2025, let's just say, where we literally would not be able to recognize today. And I think some of that was a reflection of like, what would the frequency field be? What would the consciousness be that we're living in when there isn't any judgment? And there's many other things that parallel that would align with it.
Not just judgment, it's love. The understanding that the love that you have for the person you love the most in your life, you'll have for everyone around you. That's a game changer when you're living that way. And that's another thing in the quantum, that feeling of love when you're in the quantum, you can't quite explain it, but it's nothing I've ever felt before in this realm ever. And I've been married a very long time and I'm very happy. I have children, but it's not the same. It's this overwhelming, oh my gosh, love that you're connected to everyone. Right. And that's how we'll be living by 2025. It won't be on this planet, but some of the humans that are non-ascending will feel like they're still on this planet. So they'll understand that.
Well, that's okay. So what did you just say at the end?
Well,
so the humans that are
the non-ascending humans will be on a planet that's much like this, but this planet is falling apart. This planet is starting to terraform on itself, and you're seeing that now. So they have another planet for the non-ascending humans, and they have another planet for us. It's called Bleskaya. Well, they call it Bleskaya, the new Earth. That's what everybody calls it. It's ready. It's there. It's been there since last summer, prepared and ready to go. You can, and your wife takes people there, doesn't she? Doesn't she do? Yeah. So many of us, I have meditations. You can go anytime you want and go hang out. It's ready. And that's where the ascending starseeds, well, we're already ascended, but we're taking the ascending humans with us over there. And they'll have all that. They'll be able to learn how to manifest and learn to live the way that we live outside of here already. It's just a whole new thing. But the non-ascending humans will be given plenty of time to find their way and to ascend on their own. So you'll hear a lot of people talking about how we're ascending in the bodies one by one. That's the non-ascending human timeline. That's what they're doing. They're going a different way and they'll be ascending on their own one by one. So when you reach that level that you're ready to go forward, you will. And the rest of us that are ascending before then will be ascending in the flash, or they're now calling the love wave, which is just like the energies coming in now, but much higher. They flow through, you go down, you sleep. And then when you wake up, your higher self is with you and the planet is in 5D and it's open. The Van Allen belt's open and all the energies come through. And originally we were going to stay on this planet, but the planet is not able to support us, which is what's taking us so long at this time, because the planet's so shaky. They're having to do a lot to just keep it together. And that's what a lot of our ascension teams are doing. You'll notice like light workers now are having these dreams of being in water. They're all dreaming about being in water, about pearls, about oysters, about amber, being really deep down. These are all things we're doing in the quantum at night, part of our ascension team, and we're working together doing that. So it's all coming together and it's amazing, amazing to watch and amazing to be a part of.
Yeah, and that was a good description of the energies that have been coming down. I know you follow that because you post virtually every day regarding CMEs, or I don't know all the terms, but you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
solar flares, Schumann. But it was, what was it, like 3 days ago? There was like 3 of them came down.
So, yeah, and transient, we have transient CMEs now, which is something that is new terminology, because CMEs come off the sun, right? They shoot off with the solar flares. So it's a lot of plasma. The more plasma it is, the slower it comes to us. But when it hits us, we feel it. And that bow shock is like a big rubber band around half the sun, half the earth, right? And it starts moving. Recently, we just have plasma shooting in randomly from all over. So they're calling them transient CMEs. We know they're actually from our galactic families, but that's okay. We can take them as transient CMEs too. But yeah, everybody's upgrading because of all these energies that are coming in and have been coming in since 2018, since the Galactic started shooting them into the dark side of the planet. So it's all connected.
Yeah, it is all connected. I'm just amazed at, you know, the prospects of what we're going to see, what we can actually experience as spirit flesh,
Yeah,
in a conscious state. Yeah,
and we're seeing it now. They said there's 230 eye upgrades that have happened along the collective, depending on what your mission is in this lifetime. Some people are seeing the grids. They can see the matrix grids, or you can see them going in and out. There's are seeing portals in their homes, on their ceilings. It's really, each individual has a different mission. So each individual has different abilities. So it really depends on who you are and what you're seeing. But it all starts with that really blurry vision that light workers are getting. Part of the symptoms is that blurry vision. So once you start getting the blurry vision, you know that your upgrade's coming in. And that's exciting.
Yeah, that happens from time to time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The vision, especially at night for me, but that might be physical too. But I noticed that. And I normally notice it in the mornings, like, because if it's later in the day, your eyes get tired, but in the mornings, my
they're
vision's
blurry
good.
in the morning. That's part of your upgrades. How about your tuning? Do you hear the ears tuning? Do you hear the noises in the
Oh
ears
yeah.
yet?
Oh
Okay.
yeah. I've heard, I mean,
huge.
like way back. Yeah, like probably like 2015, 2014. But there has been a difference. And I could only go back to, like, just say this year. There has been a difference because there's been a lot more variance. Like, let's say that before I might have heard 12 tones at any time, any one of them, or maybe combinations, right? Like there was a certain range, and now there's more amplification at times. Like when we first got on, it happens a lot of times. It'll happen on the show. It happened on the last show. It got really loud in my left ear, and it got to the point where I could actually feel the energy, beyond the sound into my ear. But yeah, so there's been that, and then noises. Some of them that kind of come from that same space, like God, how would you?
Are you hearing beeps yet?
I haven't heard like digital beeps, but I've heard I don't know how you would explain it. Almost like have you ever heard these? They have these tambourines, and they've got like beads in them, and sometimes they'll have like a picture of the beach on it.
Sure.
And you kind of move it around, and it sounds like waves, like that. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
No, it's you connecting with your team. I know a lot of galactics are hearing like beeps that remind me of smoke alarms. When you hit the smoke alarm and it goes beep beep, they're hearing that, and it's an alignment with your team. A lot of it is, and it's just every day there is something new that we didn't know or that we didn't think we understood, and then the next day you understand it and you can move forward on your path. This is the time we're in. There is just no stopping us.
Yeah, Shelley Bowden, you might have just answered this, but what are the beeps I've been hearing?
There's many different types of beeps. If you're hearing like electrical beeps that sound like music, Those are usually you connecting with your galactic ship, your team. Other people are hearing, like mine sound like waves, and I call that the sound of space in my ears. And it's something that lets me know it gets really loud when the energies are getting loud. And it's part of what I use for my mission as a girl in
Yeah.
the universe. We all have different
Yeah.
things that we're using.
No, I
So,
can relate to that. For me, I call it the universal cicada, because it's not
perfect.
necessarily a tone. It's like, and it does. It gets like, even when you're out in the forest sometimes, and the locusts will get really loud.
Yes,
It's like
just
that.
like that.
And
Yeah,
and
that's great.
you're right about that.
It's very
And I've picked up a lot of these audible things, I guess, and some are vibrational, some involve the body. That stuff is really picked up over the last this year. To
Have
me,
you been
that's the
feeling the heart chakra because it's starting to spin and lift
Mm.
up when the energies get high?
Yeah, I've been a part of sessions, and other times it's happened. There has been over the last few weeks again. I'm gonna say 2 times a day where I have to take pause, because and it comes from the heart, but
That's
it
it.
feels very physical. And
Yeah.
it almost like where you go, and I've had them before, but not with this consistency. And you sit down, like the first time I remember it happened to me in Hawaii, and I sat down, I thought I was having a heart attack. Morgan
That's
had gone.
exactly it. That's
Yeah,
exactly it.
yeah.
And it
But
feels like
yeah,
that. And you
yeah.
you can kind of feel it through your back at times too. I can't tell you how many people I have following me that have gone in to have that checked, because
Mhm.
it does feel like you're having a heart attack. It feels scary
Yeah.
when you first feel it. And then they go in, they get everything checked. I can give you a list of like 100 of those right off the top of my head. And then they find nothing's wrong. And then they're like, oh my gosh, it's ascension. It is ascension, but it's always good to get that checked, because you don't want to fool around with that. If you're concerned, always see a doctor. Always. Someone you trust, someone you want to go to.
See,
It's okay.
if I'm concerned, I'm not going to see a doctor. I'll go see
I'm
someone
not
I
a doctor
trust.
person either, but if you trust somebody, go to
Yeah,
someone
of
you
course.
trust.
Well, yeah, you got
You
to
know,
trust yourself. You definitely got
yeah,
to trust yourself.
yeah. It's all about you being okay. That's what it's all about.
Now, one of the things I'm always asking questions, as you know, and I like to explore stuff. One of the topics that this group of 4 was talking about last night that I was drawn to, they were talking about both sides of the equation, but in the timeline sense, in the respect to timelines, you know, throughout Earth history, and really the whole give and take of dark and light. Like, they weren't hung up on, hey, somebody came in here and interfered. They were more like talking about, this is where we're at, and we've got the power, and F them,
Yeah.
but at the same time, they were still talking about, there are pockets out there. There are, all of those types of energies haven't been removed totally. You still got to keep your eyes open. What are your thoughts on that?
We call those nuisance energies. They can't really hurt you because you're too high of a being, especially as you ascend higher. To me, they're like mosquitoes. They're
Mm,
annoying. They can't get to you. But we are seeing a lot of light workers being infiltrated. And that's my concern. They can't hurt you, but man, they can mess with your life. So I'm very big on wrapping in source light, keeping yourself protected, keeping your energy to yourself. So it's not like bumping into everybody else, so that you're able to walk through this world and you know that what you're connecting to and what you're hearing and who's telling you what is actually for your greater and higher good and on your team. Those nuisance energies can say there's something and be very nice, and you think it's the correct thing, and then the next thing you know, you're doing something you would never do. So you have to be really mindful of yourself. You are very important and you are very powerful, and your energy is your currency. Where your
mhm.
attention goes, your energy flows. So if you're like watching all this stuff in the 3D realm, you're literally feeding it with your energy. So feed it to you. Go in and do the work on you. Send yourself the love. It's so important right now. It's so important what you do.
Yeah.
Even if you don't understand ascension and you popped in and you're here with us, just by being the highest version of you, be that person you've always wanted to be kind, allow your voice to be heard to what you want to do, be mindful where your thoughts and your mind and your feelings align. Now is the time to do that, because you can't just walk the walk. You have to feel it inside of you. You have to know that what you're saying matches what you're feeling. And then everything aligns, and then you're good.
That's true. That's true. At the end of the day, just be yourself.
Just be you, the best you can be. That's all,
Yeah.
that's all they're asking. The teams are asking of you is to be in
Yeah.
your light and do what thrills you. Do what makes you happy. And it doesn't have to be like we're not going to walk around going all day long. That's not how we work. But maybe you love this piece of music, play it. It rises your vibration. Read that book you love so much. Play that video game that makes you happy. Whatever it may be that brings you joy.
Yeah.
That's all. That's the recipe for this time. Do what brings you joy. Be the
Tacos.
best you. Yeah. If it's tacos, have tacos. Enjoy
Tacos.
it. Enjoy it while you can eat it.
Yeah. God, you hit on it too. Yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah. And I think this is part of the characteristic that we've kind of passed through, some still passing through, I don't know, where, yeah, the external things are being turned off ever since 2020, when the whole thing started with COVID, with the lockdowns and all that. We've all talked about this. We all lived it, people having to pull everything in, and the self-introspection. And then starting to get more acquainted and refamiliarized with our multidimensional aspects and voices, if you would, influences, whatever you want to, or collaborators. And then starting to also get used to standing in our power
Right.
and
Yeah.
sovereignty, no matter who it is, right?
Exactly.
So that's powerful to
Speak your truth.
yeah. I mean, or just, yeah, exactly. Don't be shy, basically.
And it doesn't matter what they think of you. What matters is what you think of you.
Yeah.
That's the whole key here. You're amazing, and we know you're amazing. So let your light out and be the amazing being. You don't have to make everybody happy. This is not make everyone happy life. This is make you happy life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, even like taking it into the ethers, like, if I just look at my own life and look at my interactions in the ethers, many times I've been on my knees, and I say that out of reverence, and I did it in reverence and knowing. But there's many, many things out there, right? And it's all me ultimately. And so that's the whole part of it. We're just taking it from this very limited human experience. Now that we're expanding, there's a lot out there. And so whatever we're propelling from here, to me, that's, with the guidance and direction of our aspects of our monads, and et cetera, we still are in the driver's seat. We're still, yeah. And I think to come into an awareness, especially where there's two or more, right? Like there's many, many now, right?
And we're starting to do that now. Are you experiencing that? Where we're working
That's what I'm saying.
in
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm.
quantum, and my higher self's here, and I'm aware that I'm not in my body, and I'm aware I'm working and doing this with others. And it's a wonderful thing that we're able to do that now. And we're able to see that in a whole different way. And so many are experiencing that now.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's showing itself, like the synchronicities, like, it used to be like, hey, I just thought of you and you called me. But now it's like got more meat in it. It's
we
like
call it pinging. You think of them and you ping them, and then suddenly they're reaching out to you, or you're reaching out to them. It's all energy. It's all connection. It's how we work outside of here.
Yeah. And I think the other thing that I think is going to be real interesting to see or feel or actually be the power of living a life and living in a field with others where the emotions are a powerful source of our creative abilities, which might be unique to the human. Now that we're not at the mercy of our unconscious emotional projections, right? I mean, like, just imagine walking into, everywhere you go, everything's cool. Everybody's cool.
Everything is. And even now when we manifest not so much with our words, but our emotions, how you feel, and that vibration. I know on Blessed Gaia, they have And I couldn't figure out for a while why they have stores. They have stores for the humans. You don't buy anything. You go in and pick up what you want because it's going to take them a while to learn how to manifest. And many of the star seeds there are teaching them how to manifest, but they won't know how to do that when they first come in. So that manifestation is another thing that we'll be teaching and helping with. It's just everything coming together now in our timeline, now around us, that we can see and feel and be a part of all this. It's tangible now. We can feel it in the energies around us. You can tell things are changing. Like when we got up this morning, you could feel that we shifted gears. Everything's different right now. And being aware of that, more than just some of us, it's a much larger collective that is understanding and feeling that now. It's huge.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. It's exciting. Anything's possible. You know, you watch, you see these weather balloon and UFO and this and that out there, and you just laugh about it.
Yeah, we're watching the Matrix fall apart.
I mean, it's hilarious. And then, you know, and I'm telling you, in the last, I don't know, I want to say again this year, there just seems to be so much more in your face. And I don't mean that distorted, stupid stuff. I'm talking about, you know, like, you know, I was telling a previous person, I'm not on TikTok, but it comes up on the Facebook Reels and the YouTube or Shorts or whatever. And you see these kids are like 15, 18, 20, talking about Enoch, talking about, and it's not, at first I thought, oh, that's faddish, you know, but no, man, these kids are doing their homework.
Oh,
they're like talking about some deeps. I mean, they're going deep. You can tell they're not just parroting something they heard. They've actually, whoa, was that true?
They're
and then they
feeling it. Yeah, it's connected.
So,
how about the little ones? I mean, the ones that are like 3 to 4. I have a lot of followers that have little kids, and they'll be like, Mom, I think we're going home today. Mom, I left my dragon on the roof. Is that okay? Mom, I was dreaming about this last night, and I was a fighter pilot. I mean, all these things. It's amazing. But now the star seeds and our amazing light workers are endorsing it, you know, helping them connect to that instead of going, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, tell me more. What did you see? What did you experience? And it's thriving within the little ones. It's just, I was going to say it's amazing, but
it's amazing. Somebody wrote that. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
But no, this lady, this sister we just had on, Sarah, I think is her name, Sarah Jane Patton. So sure, and hers is 2019. Right, 2018, 2019. Her story is she's got 6 kids, 5 from the first marriage, I think, and 4 of those are daughters, and they're all awake. And the boy's awake too. I'm sorry, they're all awake.
Yes.
They woke up before her. So then she gets a second marriage, and she has another child, and this child's 5 years old now, and has been her guide through the wake up experience. And she was talking on the show about it, but
that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's happening in families all over the place.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Yeah.
It was amazing to hear it, you know, and it was amazing and the other part of it is it goes further than that, because, you know, this is her immediate family, but then she specifically started channeling the children of the light, or children of light. I forget exactly the exact, and her daughter's talking about the Rainbow Bridge and the functions of her and others like her. And I'm telling her, you know, I got a friend in Texas, and same thing. Daughter's 4 years old, talking about the Rainbow Bridge, talking about the rainbow people, talking about going to the rainbow planet.
You know, so New Earth is connected with the Rainbow Bridges. All the pyramids that all of the light workers are building and connecting into have portals in the top that have the Rainbow Bridge that connect to Blessed Gaia and New Earth. So kids get it. Everybody's getting it. It's all connected. And that's what I always say, no matter who you're listening to, it's all connected. The story is all the same. It's all, you know, somebody has a different line of it. Like she has this line of it. I happen to be on the ascension team, so I happen to have a little bit more knowing of what's going on, but it's all the same thing. It's all connected. So when it comes through, we'll all understand it. And it's at a soul level understanding.
Yeah. That's the thing. The soul's on it.
Oh, completely.
The soul's on it. Yeah. And the thing about that, the guest that we had previously is I remember 2 children specifically talking about the Rainbow Bridge, and then she knew of one that talked about the children of the light, another person that said, hey, I I'm connected to the children of light. And then I remembered one that was too. So there's all these other little,
It's all
threads
coming
that are
together.
reweaving together that are representing our multidimensionality and our
And it's
tribe.
supposed right now at this moment, everybody is at the gate. They like to talk about we're at the doorway of the quantum. We have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And it's up to you to get yourself fully in there. But the energies are going to be here to help you and push you. And that's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Just everything that you see and do and everything you're involved in is creating your reality. And that is probably the most important thing we could talk about right now is the reality around you. They call it your pocket reality because you're manifesting. And as you know, you manifest everything around you. You don't have to be in the 3D realm to be in the 3D realm. We're here because we live in the 3D realm, but we're not part of it. I like to think of us as being rising above it, a little higher, no hierarchy by any means. It's just being mindful of your reality and what you're creating around you so that you can enjoy and thrive in this lifetime rather than just make it by. We don't want everybody just making it by. You deserve to thrive.
That's right. We can talk about that all you want.
I'm all about
exactly
thriving.
right.
Yeah.
That's it too. Oh yeah. And you were talking about, because I didn't want to interrupt you, but you were talking about a certain period of time. I think maybe it was right after the first of the year. We were talking about that time, but and I forget what you were saying, but I virtually said the same thing because I remember, I think it was around the 10th or 15th of January. And I just woke up, it was a Monday morning, and I just put a post up, which I don't normally do, and just put, it's time. And people were asking me like, what does that mean? But I mean,
it's time.
The soul's connected, like you could just tell by the engagement, but I didn't really know, but I just knew it's time. And to me, that's what it feels like. It's time. Like, don't waste any time.
Yeah, don't.
I mean, we're still going through stuff. We're still releasing stuff and all that, but
and we will be up to the day we go. I mean, that's just, we're trying to get rid of everything, purge everything out of us. Just 2 days ago, they said everybody's in the place they need to be in. Right. Everything's set. We are ready to go forward. It can happen literally anytime. They're working on it right now all around us. But it really has to do with you. It really has to do with you working on you and believing in you and not letting the fear get you. There's no fear. There's nothing to fear. You're a huge, powerful, amazing being. I mean, part of Source. Source isn't afraid of anything. Source is all about love and building the world around them they want to be in. And that's who you are. So just claim it, own it, bring it to you, be it. You want to be it, be it. It's your time, and it is time.
Yeah, I am soul. That's right. That's right. And there's a kind of like a cherry on top. The as Mary Rodwell says in her book, or the name of her book, The New Human. Like, there's a new human coming out of this, like that was always there.
Oh yeah.
Right. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. The uniqueness of this series of incarnations.
This mission is not like any other lifetime we've ever been on. And everything about it's different. There's no normal. I always get the clients come in and go, okay, what's my mission for this life? Why am I here? And their higher self always says, you are the mission of this life. You're the reason why you're here. You're here to help everybody ascend, help everybody rise up. And it starts with you. And when you start ascending, everything around you starts to ascend. Everything changes. So, I mean, it's just so important to remember how important we are as individuals, but we're all one. I mean, we're all connected. So, and I know sometimes it's hard in the human brain, 3D brain doesn't quite get that sometimes, but as long as you are you and doing what you love and stepping into your light and stepping into your power in whatever way you see that for yourself, everything else will come through around you.
Right on. That's right.
Gonna say it again. It's an amazing time. Sorry, I had to put that in there.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And this burst of, like, I want to say right around the 14th, 15th of February, like somebody shot a starter pistol off for like, bam, everybody's like, what the hell just went on for 48 hours? But
wait till the 27th. 27th is a
see, now we're
huge
getting
day.
somewhere.
Huge day.
I want to know what's coming.
Starts tomorrow and it goes for the 27th. It's one of the jump windows. It's something that my team always talks about. There's something huge celestial that's happening that allows our galactic team to help us push forward and bring in the solar flash. Well, we're in that window right now. And, you know, everything's happening around us. So just watch what's going to come through. It's going to be amazing. Sorry, I know that's my keyword at the moment. It's just
it's okay.
Things are happening that they've been talking about for years, and we're watching it everywhere. We're watching it play out in the 3D media. We're watching it within our systems, within ourselves.
So, yeah. So, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's so funny. I mean, it really is to me sometimes, because I'll think to myself, we're all going to get to the end, and I'm going to be standing next to a Rockefeller, a saint, a sinner, whatever, anything and everything. And we're all actually going to be looking at each other in the purity that we are. And I know that sounds, and again, I'll say that's metaphor, you know, but energetically speaking, why would there be anything less?
No.
You know, and if anything, really to achieve that, I mean, in this particular realm, with the level of density,
amazing, right?
It's amazing.
It is, because we're at the end game now. I mean, lifetime after lifetime, thousands of years, this has been in process. We're here. We're at that doorway. We're where, like Dolores Cannon was talking about in her books, that's where we are. We're there right now. We're not waiting for the next incarnation or even the next year. This is it. This is our year. This is where we're going. And the fact that you can see the difference from January to February.
Oh, God.
I mean, the beginning of February was so different from January.
Yeah,
and now true. The end of February is going to be so different from the beginning. I mean,
so this
possible.
This corridor, the 22nd through the 27th, and just to give you a validation, somebody I read today, I just had the name. They were calling the 22nd to the 27th or the 29th. So there's got to be something in the air that you're picking up on, no doubt. Is there a specific theme as to what this period is or what it offers? I think you might have mentioned that just a little bit, but is there something we could be focusing on
yourself
during this?
It's yourself. It's all about you, listening to the nudges, listening to what's coming in. Some people talk about they can't talk with their guide yet. Remember, what you believe is what happens in your life. So if you always say, I am blocked, cancel. We don't ever want to say that. You're building that in your reality. The next few days, you're going to see yourself change in a way you've always wanted to. The upgrades are going to be just massive, and the changes around you. We're waiting for what they're calling the clarion call, which is literally angelic trumpets, but it's within the heart chakra, and you'll feel it inside of you. You know, a sound bowl, you know what they sound like when you hit them?
Yeah.
And you know that vibration it makes within you?
Yeah.
That's what you're going to feel inside. You're going to hear the music, you're going to hear the trumpet, and then you're going to feel it within inside you. When that happens, you know you are minutes away from the flash coming through. That's what we're waiting for at this time, is just the clarion call. And it's not something that's going to be years out. I keep hearing that, but our team says that the planet won't last much longer. We've got to go quickly here and move forward. And that's fine. You know, it's all, we're going to do it. It'll be safe. It'll be wonderful. You'll move through it gracefully. You've got all these energies that have been coming in for so long, which are basically little bits of the flash coming through now. You've just been upgrading to almost your ascended master self. And then when the flash comes through, it's this beautiful energy. It'll be calm, you'll rest. And when you wake up, your higher self is with you, merged in the body.
Kind of like how it's going now.
Yeah, except
I think you said that earlier. I'm talking little
bits. Yeah.
Because you feel it. Yeah, you feel the blast. You mentioned earlier you lay down. I know I had two of the previous 4 days sleeping like 9.5, 10 hours, and then another 2-3 hours during the day.
Yeah.
And then rest. a lot of meditation. So I would put that probably in the same category, because that's going to be a pretty
It's so important to meditate, no matter what it looks like to you. I know a lot of people talk about not being able to meditate at this time, but finding that quiet within your body will change things for you in ways you've only dreamed of. It's important.
Yeah. Wow. What the hour of power with the girl in the universe.
Sorry, it's
I love it.
It's
It's
just
amazing.
this time. Yeah, there's times I mean, honestly, we're watching history being made around us.
Yeah.
They are collecting our texts. They are collecting everything we're sharing, and it's, collective wide. So just know that your shows will be part of our history of this golden time. And it's just the fact that they've been talking about this for so long, and we're seeing it happen all around us, and it's accelerating now. And that's why you're feeling it the way you're feeling it. The energies, if we tried to put you in these energies 2 years ago, we would all be on the floor. It would have hit us like nothing. Now you're able to take a very high dose of energies. You're able to go through your day, work, feel good, be able to do things you could never do before. And it's all because of the energies and you. It takes both of it. You need the energies, but you got to do that inner work. You can't just hope. We're not sitting here hoping. Hope doesn't get you anywhere. It's knowing and doing and trusting yourself. Allow it to come in. And trust yourself. That's the biggest thing I can say. It's everybody's like, I hear things, but I'm not sure if it's my guides or not. Trust you. Just allow it. Allow it to be and watch it flourish.
Yeah. Boom. Boom to that. Hey, thanks a lot. And, for coming in and sharing space with us and honoring us with your presence. All blessings to you and your beautiful family.
Thank you. And thanks for having me. I love being with you, Todd. It's so fun to talk to you because you get it. You understand, you're living it just like the rest of us. So I think that's what makes you so special.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Take care. Peace out.
Too.
See y'all.